Hey guys, it's Leo, and it's time to talk about episode 2 from Star Twinkle Precure. It's Sunday morning, and the episode is already out. The episode is already subbed, and I feel like it was subbed so fast, and this makes me feel like it's a generalized feeling that everybody's excited for Star Twinkle. And this is really good because it's very nice when we all have an excitement over something that we can share and we can talk about. And I don't know, I just feel like Star Twinkle is being a very special season, at least in this first moment. So yes, I'm also very excited. You guys know that. So this episode was the introduction of Lala as Cure Milky, and it also had a very nice message. I feel like this episode brought us somewhat of the same argument that Hugto had. Like, you can be whatever you want to be, you just have to believe in yourself. And this episode had more or less the same thematic, but it was done in a different way, obviously. And first we had Hikaru that was turned into a precure out of nowhere, and Lala was wondering. So we had like the moments between Lala and Hikaru, but I think that the one that really took the stage in this episode was Puruns. You know, Puruns was it felt like he was the main character of this episode together with Hikaru. Lala, she's still very protective of herself, and she's not opening up much. And I feel like we could understand her a little bit better in this episode. I feel like she has put a big burden in herself. Puruns showed us a little bit of the story from Star Twinkle about the 12 princesses, and we already knew that. I mean, if we were following the news about Star Twinkle, we already knew somewhat of the story, but we learned that the 12 princesses had like a planet of their own, and that was the planet that Hikaru saw in the first episode when she was traveling through space. And the Nothraiders, they got that planet and they were able to protect it, but by protecting the episode, they ended up scattered all over the universe because they used their powers. So Fuwa and Puruns were the ones that were sent to gather and collect them. And Lala entered in this story because she was trying to protect her own planet Saman. One strange thing about her is that she is considered an adult in her own planet because she's 13 years old. And then 13, when you're 13 in her planet, you're already considered an adult. That's a very different thing from us humans. And at the same time, it creates a different characterization for Lala. And well, I think that if done for the right reasons, I think it's a nice thing. And I don't think Precure will go there, like 13 years, so you're an adult and you can do other things. So I don't think Precure will go there. Because, well, we know the history of Precure, so I don't think they're going to do something concerning that. You guys know what I mean, right? So it's a different way. If you look at Hikaru and if you look at Lala, they're both 13, but they were both raised so differently. So they became completely different people. And that is so nice. You know, Lala, she seems to be very responsible. She seems to feel very hardly of her own mission. She seems to think highly of her own mission. And she has to, you know, she has that burden on herself. And like in the first episode, her rocket ship was wrecked, and then now she's trying to fix it. And another nice characterization of hers is obviously her antennae. I can't even say, like, it's so nice and it's so funny. Like, it's a part of her character, and you know, it has like shocking powers. It delivers electricity, but not in a strong way, because you know, she does it in Purun's in one scene, and he's just like, oh, this feels so good. And that is a great way of showing that people will have different abilities in different ways and different bodies in other places in space. Oh, and in this episode, we also learned that there is a law in space that space people cannot appear to other people from planets that didn't make contact yet. So obviously that makes the Earth a planet like that, and so Lala cannot appear to anybody. But there was a scene in which she appeared to that mysterious old man, and I laughed so much in that scene because when Hikaru joined her, Hikaru was like, "Oh, she's my friend from space," like that was nothing. And that was so funny. I laughed so hard. Hikaru is such a fun character. And we all we all can say that that character, he has something, right? There is something in him. There is something about him that's very strange, and he is tied to the story in some kind of way. I just don't know how, but he is tied to the story in his own way, and he probably had made contact with people in space. He knows what's going on, and I don't know if he knows about the cures, but he knows that there's something strange with Hikaru. I mean, he was the one that gave her the book that turned into the Twinkle book. And again, another nice scene with Hikaru was when Purun said, okay, now I'm gonna take care of the Twinkle book because Fu was in it and I have to protect it. And Hikaru was like, no, this is mine. I am going to protect it. This is a very special thing for me. And he was like, what's more important? The protection of the universe or your feelings toward it? And she's like, both of them are important. I will cherish both of them. So I will protect the universe, but I will also protect it while holding what's dear to me. And Hikaru is so out there. She's so crazy. I love that about her. I love that she does things without really thinking too much, and that's an interesting thing. That's a very precure thing to do. That's a very pink cure thing to do, but at the same time, I think Hikaru has her own twist on being like a main character, on being a different main character, something we haven't seen before, and I just love that about her. And so I felt like this episode was really nice, but I was expecting a little bit more from Lala as a character. I was expecting her to connect with Hikaru a little bit more, but I don't think she did. I think that she ended up standing by herself. She ended up standing by her own, not really believing in what was really going on. She didn't believe in herself, and I think that the moment she had with Hikaru was when Hikaru told her that she didn't need to believe in the statistics. She needed to believe in herself. She needed to wish for what she wanted. And that message really got through to her. Until we got to the point when we had the little fight of this episode. I think that one of the greatest things is that we have like the villain really acting. Kapard, I am in love with Kapard already. I think that I really like those cutthroat villains that will go for the fight. They're not afraid to jump into action right at the first moment. And I really like that about him. And Kapard is really cool. I really like that he had to stay in water for a while just to recharge his powers because he lost in the first episode. I mean, they're really taking the Kappa reference. And when he came to fight, he jumped into the girls. They weren't even transformed. He just jumped there and he just punched them. And he was really going for Fuwa. He was really going in for it. I just loved it. Oh my god, I just loved it. And the whole fighting scene, it wasn't really intense like the first episode, but it was really nice, I think. We had like Cure Star's moment of fighting the Notores, and then we had Lala's moment in becoming Cure Milky. Purun's even helped a little bit, and I really liked when Cure Star appeared, and then we had like this little moment between her and Kapard, that little fight that she pushed Kapard. That was so nicely animated. I was like, whoa, I really liked that part. And I believe that when the message got through to Lala, she was able to become Cure Milky. She was able to understand that part of her. She was able to understand what a precure really is, like believing in yourself and, believing that you can do it and believing in what's inside of you. That's a very beautiful message that Precure is always delivering, and I think it was done nicely, actually. And, I already talked about Lala's transformation in another video, and oh my god, that's like another level of greatness. I really liked it. Unfortunately, she didn't really have like a big fighting moment. Maybe she won't have one, I think, because I don't know. She feels like she's too closeted to fight like crazy. And it seems to be a thing in recent seasons, In past seasons, all of the girls, even if they were very shy or very closed up in themselves, they were able to fight physically. But nowadays, it doesn't really seem to happen like that. So she was only able to use her antennae as catalysts for her power. And she was even able to, like, not defeat, but to make Kapar lose the fight with her Milky Shock, which was also very nice. And it was very nice that she was able to feel like, oh my god, I'm amazing, I'm so powerful, like when she used her powers for the first time. And that's very nice when a person that doesn't believe in themselves feel like that about themselves. And it gives us power. I feel like it gives us power. It really does. And that little moment between Hikaru and Lala at the end, like Lala really understanding why she was able to become a Precure, was also very sweet. And the episode ended with kind of a cliffhanger, with something happened with the star pendant. Probably they're going to find their first pen. I don't know. But that's probably what's going to happen in the next episode. And just before talking about the next episode, I just wanted to say that there were very cute moments in this episode, which were Hikaru saying good morning to Lala. And when she did it, she was able to understand Lala's planet a little bit more, because Lala said, okay, we don't say good morning, but we touch antennae with people. Like, probably everybody from her planet have one. And I'm curious, I hope we are able to see some other people from her planet, maybe her family. That would be really nice. And the onigiri scene was also amazing. I really liked how Lala was able to open up a little bit more and understand that she has to try things to say if she likes them, if she doesn't like them. I think it's very tied to what her personality used to be and what she's going to become from now on. And that scene was also amazing. It was done so beautifully. And what else? There was one more. Oh, when Hikaru wanted to go to her house and then she wasn't able to enter like front. They had to take like the window, and Puruns was the one that took them. I mean, Puruns is very versatile in the ways that he can use his body. That's also very nice. And one last thing I wanted to say is that, no, two things I want to say. First one, it seems that people in Earth won't be able to understand Lala, and I'm very curious to how this is going to play out. I mean, he kind of is able to understand her. The other Curious are probably going to be able to understand her, obviously, but I feel like, won't she be able to come talk to anybody? How is this going to play out? Or is she going to learn that a little bit, a little later from now? And one last thing. It seems that the overall composition of Curie Milky is a jellyfish. Jack said it on Twitter, and Jack, you were totally right. If we analyze it, you are totally right, because her costume looks like a jellyfish, and she has antennae, and her transformation has water in it, and well, I think that it all ties up, because there's water in her transformation, and waters are not really connected to electric powers. I mean, they are in a way, because if the electric powers become stronger, like there's a current if people are wet. And yes, that kind of makes sense. But I think that when you think about a jellyfish, it makes even more sense. I mean, they live in water, they have sting powers, just like Lala has. And well, those sting powers obviously become stronger when she becomes a Cure, and they end up becoming electricity in her own powers. So it's pretty nice if we think about it. Jellyfishes are so cute, and there's even that manga, Kuragehime. I love that manga, and that anime as well. I haven't read the manga actually, but the anime is really good. Anyways, guys, that was my view on episode 2. Another great episode, great animation again, and this episode made me laugh, and it made me emotional, it made me happy. I'm just very excited to keep on going, to keep on watching. Oh, and next episode. I thought they were going to have like a big breakdown, but I think that Lala's going to see things very differently from Hikaru. Lala's very tied up. She's very responsible. She tries to be very responsible. And Hikaru's just your typical pink girl. It seems that she doesn't take anything seriously, but that's not the case. She just takes things seriously in her own way, in her own very, very peculiar way. And that's it, I think. And Well, next episode they're gonna meet Elena, and I'm very excited to see her. Unfortunately, she won't become Cura Soleil until episode 4, but I'm very excited to see Elena for the second time. But you know, for the first time dealing with our girls. I'm Victor, very, very excited. Anyways, guys, that was it. Please leave a comment with your opinions on episode 2, and let's keep on talking. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.